right.
Do it.
Scott,
Aye.
Waters,
Here.
Greckin,
Here.
Moore,
Here.
Shaner. Here.
We stand for a moment of silent prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have a proclamation that reads, whereas the Native community of Sioux City has worked tirelessly to advocate and raise awareness about injustice happening in the Native people and child welfare, juvenile justice, and adult court systems, and whereas the Native community in Sioux City has sought to bring about change in this regard by peacefully and prayerfully exercising their constitutional rights to assemble and to voice their desire for change in how they are treated. And whereas the Community Initiative for Native Children and Families which will begin their 18th annual memorial to honor lost children with 2 days of educational events on November 23rd and 24th, and will embark on the annual Memorial March to honor lost children on November 25th, 2020. And whereas we support the commitment of the Native community and their continued efforts to focus on building bridges and fostering understanding, we thank the Community Initiative for Native Children and Families and all the individuals and organizations responsible for holding the Memorial March to honor lost children. Wish them much success. Now, therefore, I, Robert E. Scott, Mayor of the City of Sioux City, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim November 2020 as Native American Month, and do further proclaim November 25th, 2020 as the Memorial March to honor lost children. We'll get that to the different people. We'll go to the consent agenda, which is items 3 through 13, considering to pass unanimously unless a separate roll call votes asked for by the council. Any person wishing to speak on an agenda item has come to the podium. State your name and address for the record. Please come up as I read that item. If you want to come up under citizen concerns for an item not on the agenda, again, please state your name and for the record. I'll move the consent agenda. Second. 3 are the reading.
Mayor, could you just announce for the record that Peggy Law wasn't able to appear for her scheduled interview?
Yes, we had an interview for Peggy Law for the Inclusive Sioux City Advisory Committee, but she was unable to attend. We will have that later on December 7th, I think you said.
Correct, December 7th.
3 is a reading of the City Council minutes of November 16, 2020. 4 is a resolution adopting plans and specifications for the regional stormwater detention improvement projects. 5 is actions relating to annual reports. Items 5A and B are motions approving the annual reports for Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee and the Building and Housing Code Board. 6 is actions relating to finance. A is a resolution certifying the TIF debt for the taxable valuation. B is a resolution approving the TIF annual compliance and urban renewal report. C, a resolution approving repayment for the urban renewal tax increment revenue funds. D is a resolution declaring the intent to issue debt for expenditures paid in connection with specified projects. 7 are actions relating to personnel. A is a resolution amending the Parks and Recreation payroll complement by adding custodian, attendant, and special positions at the Expo Center. B is a resolution amending the position classification manual by approving an updated job description for recreational coordinator. 8 are actions authorizing the issuance of checks. A is a resolution authorizing payment to Johnson Controls for the Tyson damper actuator replacement. B are for tort claims. Items 8B and B1 and B2 are resolutions approving settlement of tort claims. 9 are relating to property, actions relating to property. A is a resolution inviting proposals for land in the combined central Sioux City CBD urban renewal area, announcing the intent to accept the proposal of the Siouxland Chamber of Commerce and scheduling a hearing. B is a resolution inviting proposals for land in the combined Floyd River urban renewal area and announcing the intent to accept the proposal of Woodbury County Law Enforcement Center Authority and scheduling a hearing.
Mayor, I'm going to abstain on that item for conflict of interest.
Okay. C is a resolution proposing to sell petitioner the property to the petitioner Mid-America Energy. 10 are appointments to boards and commissions and committees. A is a motion appointing Elizabeth Dooley Hope to the Historic Preservation Commission. B is a motion appointing Matt Scott to the Historic Preservation Commission. I'll abstain on that item, please. C is a motion appointing Mike Biala to the Planning and Zoning Commission Board of Adjustment. And I'll move to amend the item making the appointment effective November 25th, 2020. Is there a second? Call the roll on the amendment, please.
Waters?
Aye.
Gretkin?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Shaner? Aye. Scott?
All right, 11 are purchasing. A is a resolution awarding a purchase order to Electric Engineering and Equipment Company for smoke and carbon monoxide alarms for the fire department. B is a resolution awarding a purchase order to Keesler Police Supply for ammunition for the police department. C is a resolution awarding a purchase order to Knepfler Chevrolet for an express cargo van. 12 are applications for beer and liquor license. See the list, come forward if you have questions. 13 are receipt of minutes. See the list, come forward if you have any questions. Anyone to be heard on any of those items? How are we voting today?
We'll have to call it since
Okay, go ahead.
Alex is at home. Gretkin?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Shaner? Aye. Scott?
Aye.
Waters?
Aye.
14 is a hearing and resolution approving plans and spec for the city facilities roof replacement. I'll move that.
Second.
Hearing's now open. Would anyone like to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Call the roll, please.
Gretkin?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Shaner? Aye. Scott?
Aye.
Waters?
Aye.
15 is a hearing and resolution approving plans and specs for the police fire administration security entrance addition. I'll move that.
Second.
Hearing's now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Call the roll, please.
Moore?
Aye.
Shaner? Aye. Scott?
Aye.
Waters?
Aye.
Gretkin?
Aye.
16 is a hearing and resolution approving a proposal to sell property near 304 Kings Highway and authorizing a deed to petitioners Don and Carrie Klingberg. I'll move that.
Second.
Hearing is now open. Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Call the roll, please.
Shaner? Aye. Scott?
Aye.
Waters?
Aye.
Gretkin?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
17 is ordinance amending Chapter 10.30 miscellaneous city rules of the road to provide regulations for pedestrians' use on the medians. I'll move first reading.
Second.
Let me be clear about this, contrary to what's been reported. I asked for this, I'll take the heat, because when you almost run over somebody because they're on the too busy of a street, I don't care if people are able to solicit, they have a right to solicit, but not on some of these corners like coming off the interstate and then trying to turn to go to South Sioux when they go across 3 lanes of traffic and you almost hit somebody. That's just unsafe for the people that are in cars. It's unsafe for the person that's soliciting. There are other corners that they need to be able to solicit at. I understand First Amendment rights, and you can print all you want about panhandling. That's not the case for this particular year. We cannot stop panhandling. That court case has long been decided, and to report it that way is just not right. But we do have a right to protect not only the person walking that shouldn't be, but we have a right to protect the other traveling public so that we don't rear end people, we don't run over people and that. So we'll do second and third, give everybody a chance to come and talk about this for the next 2 weeks, but it bothers me that it got reported that way, that we have a right to do this. Other cities have done it. I asked the city attorney to look into that. They did. And we're not the only community that does this on busy streets. So go ahead, my friend.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Caleb Christopherson, Assistant City Attorney. Indeed, at the request of Council and in cooperation with the Engineering Department and the Police Department, the city did find that another city in Iowa, specifically Des Moines, does have an ordinance of this nature. And patterned a lot after that ordinance, we came up with the ordinance you have before you. And as I said, in cooperation with engineering, we did get some data regarding specific medians at intersections where the nature of the median itself is not conducive to safe pedestrian traffic. And this is in response to a significant presence of pedestrian traffic of all types at these places. So to combat the safety issues that necessarily arise from that pedestrian traffic, the ordinance before you.
And the Knights of Columbus or the Salvation Army or whatever, they've got to post $3 million worth of insurance to go out and do exactly what we're talking about here. So, you know, we're not asking anybody to post $3 million like we are them, which I think is totally unfair. I don't know how you can allow some people to do it for free and other organizations would have to post that kind of insurance. I don't think you can win that case either, by the way, but anyone to be heard.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Caleb, I appreciate all the information that was attached to the RCA. And one thing I think the general public should understand, you had an article in there, a paragraph, basically, maybe 3 sentences, 2 sentences, by the numbers. There were 6,283 pedestrians and 854 bicyclists killed in 2018, and approximately 75,000 pedestrians and 47,000 bicyclists injured in motor vehicle crashes on public roadways in the United States. Pedestrians comprised about 17% of crash deaths, and bicyclists made up for an additional 2%. I think that's absolutely stunning, and that's the primary reason I think we really need this to save a lot of injuries and life. And I think I also read somewhere in there the chances of an accident going when a pedestrian being hit or a bicyclist when a vehicle's exceeding 25 miles an hour is greater. And I think it's proof of something I've always believed in, and having investigated a lot of traffic accidents, speed kills. And we need to slow people down, and we need to be serious about trying to protect and provide a safe environment for all people. But I thank you for all the information. It's really an eye-opener.
Thank you, Councilman Gretkin.
Anyone else?
I would agree with that, too. It's a public safety measure that we're taking. And also, the proposed ordinance provides for fines against motorists as well, correct? If they don't, if they fail to exercise due regard for pedestrians in the roadway?
That's correct, Councilman Moore, and that provision actually mirrors a state code provision that says almost precisely that same language. We would have that available under city code now as well for appropriate enforcement too.
Okay, thank you.
Call the roll.
Scott?
Aye.
Waters?
Aye.
Gretkin?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Shaner?
Aye.
We'll wait and do second reading next week. Citizen concerns, are any citizens to be heard?
2 weeks.
What?
2 weeks, because of the 30th.
2 weeks, yeah, whatever. I'll move to council concerns. Mr. Gretkin.
I think probably all of you, well, I think all of us got the email from Jim Wharton about changing the name of his proposal or recommendation to change the name of Lewis and Clark Stadium to Dave Bancroft Stadium. And we got an advance look at his article, and I read it again yesterday. And I just want to say up front, I think it's a great idea. I think that far too often we don't celebrate our own athletes and their accomplishments. And this is huge, being a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame. I think it would work out just fantastically, and would probably help with attendance a great deal down there too. So I would support it. I'm not sure where the rest of the council is or what the next step may be, but I like the idea, and I wanted to share that.
Well, you know, it was a tie when they finally did it. We finally built a ballpark between Lewis and Clark and Jim Bob Ballpark. That was what Pretty Salem's recommendation, as I recall, but we went ahead and let Lewis and Clark win out on that too.
Well, I think, again, it's really a great idea, and if you read a little bit about Dave Bancroft and his background, it truly is impressive, so.
Julie.
Practice safety, please. I don't know when the next time we're going to hear from our governor will be, But as a member of City Council, as a member of the small business community, as a board member of Downtown Partners, I can't stress enough what it means to have to close the economy down to our local businesses and our small businesses. There's such a trickle-down effect when something closes. Their suppliers, our vendors, everyone is hurt, from a high school kid not earning money that may come in and work part-time to the business owner themselves. So I just want everyone to please understand that the masks don't take away the virus. They slow and deter the spread of it. And please just practice these mandates so that we can keep our businesses open and keep some foot traffic through these holidays, keep these businesses going. That's what we really need, and we need to keep our hospital staff safe and not so overwhelmed.
Alex?
Yeah, I would just share that I hope everyone's able to enjoy the downtown drive-through parade that we have going on this evening. I think that's a fun and safe way to celebrate the holidays. And so I commend Downtown Partners for coming up with that kind of creative, fun way to be safe and still enjoy the holidays and have a parade. And then I would also direct your attention to something Downtown Partners is doing to try to support small businesses with their marketplace that kicks off next weekend. And so if you want to check that out, go to their website or their social media. But it's just kind of a cool, innovative way that we're showcasing some downtown spaces that are maybe available for renovation or a potential business front, and then highlighting some different small businesses that maybe don't have a storefront or don't have a presence in our downtown or have a brick and mortar. So I think it's a win-win trying to support them and get them more exposure. So if you have the means, please do that. And then finally, the last thing that I would say, I would just echo some of Julie's sentiments and just say that I continue to worry about our community. I want to make sure that everyone is safe. If you need to go out of your home, that you do everything you can to mitigate those risks, including wearing masks where you're going to be anywhere. I thought the governor's proclamation was about as clear as mud, but I would just say if you're going to be anywhere outside of your home where you might come in contact with anyone in the public, I would ask that you please wear a mask, just out of respect of those around you and anyone you might come in contact with. And honestly, I mean, the mayor and I were talking about the proclamation and the ability to cite these businesses and enforce fines and everything like that. And I understand that there's some concern of that it's like, gosh, you're calling out your neighbors or you're turning in businesses. And I would actually flip it and just say I would really urge the business owners to think about their greater community and do everything that they can to reduce the spread, because it impacts everyone. It impacts everyone around. And to Julie's point, I don't think we want to get to the point where we have to shut down businesses at all. And just doing right by your community and trying to follow these ordinances, hopefully it can slow the spike that we're experiencing right now throughout Iowa. So I would appreciate that very much, that compliance, so that we don't have to rely on people making complaints or turning things in. That's not the way that this should go. So, but that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Ed. Dan?
Nothing further, Mayor.
Well, I just want to say that it's, well, first of all, Bob, why don't you pull the council on that baseball thing? If nothing else, the new ticket booth or something, ticket building or something should have his name on it. I would agree. I'm not adverse to changing the name of the ballpark, that's for sure. But it hasn't been a great year for Sioux Cityans, but I just wish everybody a really happy Thanksgiving. And I know it'll be difficult because the family gatherings are going to be different this year than they've ever been. But we'll just hang in there and do what we always do as Sioux Cityans and Siouxlanders, and we'll get through this. So God bless you all and have a great Thanksgiving. I'll move we adjourn.
Second.
Scott,
Aye. Thank you.
Waters,
Aye.
Gretkin,
Aye.
Moore,
Aye.
Shaner.
Aye.
Well said, Mayor. Everyone take care.